Welcome to the Ballin4God podcast. I'm your host, Russell Conwell. We got a couple buddies here today. If you guys want to just introduce yourselves.
All right. You want me to go first?
Yeah.
All right. My name is Skyler Lindhorst. I just graduated from Thompsonville High School. So.
My name's Evan Dial, and I just finished my junior year at Benton High School.
So you guys are both big into athletics. Basketball player over here, you know.
Yeah, you could say that. Something like that.
And,
Something like that.
Evan, you're track and field star.
I don't know if I'd say star, but
You're getting there though, you know. So reflected back on your careers. Evan, you got one more year left. Skyler, you just wrapped up basketball. How's it feel to put that in the past?
The past 2 years haven't really gone my way. Freshman and sophomore year, I peaked. But injuries really just messed up a lot for me. So the past junior and senior year, I've just been trying to get back to, really who I was my sophomore year. As far as my role on the team, but never worked out. But that's all right, though.
Evan, you just completed junior year of track. You didn't make it out of sectional like you wanted to, but you had a pretty good career. Pretty good so far. You just got PR. You got 51.12. You got a lot to look forward to next year. You excited for that?
yeah, I am.
What's going to kind of go into it for next year? Like, what kind of training and all that?
I'm definitely going to focus a lot more on my lactic threshold. That was definitely something that I didn't focus on as much this year, and it definitely affected me this season. But then I'm also going to focus a lot more on my recovery. So I really just I wasn't very good about doing my stretches after a workout and stuff like that. So that's definitely something I can improve on as well.
What kind of stretches would you look into doing to help that?
Definitely a lot of hamstring stretches, because I had a few problems there during the season, but mainly just the main muscle groups, like here in my quad and my hamstrings, my calves, and definitely rolling out with a foam roller definitely helps a lot.
Something I've always had to struggle with is shin splints.
Mm.
Did you ever run into that problem this year?
I've ran into that problem a few times. I ran into it at the beginning of the season, but then after that they went away.
Skylar, like you said, you were trying to get back to sophomore yourself. So you've experienced some injuries.
Yep.
What'd you kind of do to always get back to somewhat how you were?
A lot of physical therapy and a lot of stretching. Stretches and stuff like that. And then, just stuff like that.
So like you said, basketball is big in your life. You big fan of Kentucky, big fan of the Benton Rangers, big fan of Thompsonville Tigers. It's big in your life. You run that KBN, Kentucky Basketball News.
Right.
What kind of brought the love for basketball and then also into Kentucky basketball?
For basketball and Kentucky basketball in general would definitely be my dad. He's always kind of, pushed me towards basketball, and he didn't really push me into Kentucky basketball. I just, probably my earliest memory was that 2012 championship. I remember how excited he was about that, so, I've just tried to watch every single game I can. Really, past 4 years with high school basketball, it's been really hard with later games. It's been really hard to keep up with all their games. But then about 8th grade, I decided to come up with a Kentucky basketball sports page, more of a fan page kind of. And then I've just been doing that for 4 years now. So, yeah.
So what would you say your favorite player is. Like, I mean, like that kind of like made you want to keep coming back. Like, I know there was a lot of one and dones, but I mean, like
Right.
that kind of created that spark for you.
Um, Really, I started watching consistently in about 2016. Tyler Eulis, he's about 5'8", 5'9". I with my family, we're all pretty short, so I kind of looked up to him because he was short but played right up with the 6'10" kids and didn't back down from anything. And then my favorite player of all time through Kentucky would definitely be Oscar Sheboy. He just I don't know, his rebound. He was good, but off the court he likes to spread the word. I'm actually in this not group chat, but on Instagram. Every single day he sends a daily scripture into there, so I read that I think it's in the mornings, sometimes at night too, but it's usually in the morning. So that's how I start my day.
I really like Oscar Sheboy. He's probably, I'd say, yeah, he's probably my favorite player too from Kentucky. I remember that's the year I really got into it. I mean, like, obviously the season didn't finish how we wanted it to,
Right.
but like he was still like, they got player of the year that year. I mean, double machine all year.
Yeah.
And he's still doing really good in the NBA G League right now.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoy watching him. I don't know, he just brought a different energy to the game, and then also off the court, he's just a great guy.
Right.
And then I like him a lot. I'd say favorite player from college level, but then at the NBA level, there's just so many guys that like you can choose from that were at Kentucky to like kind of choose your favorite player,
Right.
especially like Jamal Murray, SGA, Anthony Davis, De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk, and then there's just so many more that you don't even think of off the top of your head. I mean, the NBA, there's just so many Kentucky basketball players, and especially in the Final Four or the conference finals right now.
Mm-hmm.
And you got Cat, you got SGA. There's a lot of dudes.
Right.
It's crazy how many guys that Kentucky pushes to the NBA. And you've seen over the years in the draft. I mean, I don't know. Past year, Reed Shepherd and Rob Dillingham were drafted pretty high. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. Reed Shepherd's also a really fun player to watch too. I liked him a lot.
Yeah, he's very smart, like high IQ for basketball.
Did you see? It was in the NBA games that he started this past year. He averaged like 19 points per game and like 52 or 53% from three this past year. Just like in the games he started.
Right. I did not see that. No. I don't really keep up with the NBA much. I've kept up with Reed a little bit. I mean, when he got sent to the G League for a game maybe? What was that?
It was for a couple games, yeah.
Like, you remember that? How many points did he score in that one game? I can't remember.
I forgot how many points, but it was like a squat.
Yeah. Which it really didn't surprise me. I mean, I would have loved to see him come back on last year's team. But I mean, you can't turn that down, being that high projected.
Yeah, especially like third overall.
Yeah.
I wish he would have came back, but I mean, like you said, you understand you can't turn it down. There's been a couple guys like that I wish would have come back instead of going, and I'm just happy that he's doing what he's doing, and just doing as good as he can. Another player that I kind of really liked watching in college was Devin Booker.
Oh yeah. Yep.
He was really fun to watch too.
Yeah, I don't believe he ever started either. Maybe a game or two, but he always came off the bench, and I believed he should have started, but that was a stacked team he was on. So
yeah, especially like between like 2012 to like 2016, that era of Kentucky basketball, there were so many stacked teams.
Right.
And then like there was a couple years where we just had like one or two losses in the whole year.
Mm-hmm.
It was insane.
Yeah, we've been, as a Kentucky fan, we've been spoiled over the Calipari era, in my opinion. So
I'm excited for Pope.
Yeah.
Especially how good he did his first year, taking us to the Sweet 16. And I don't know if you saw the interview, but like he said, like he's not satisfied. Like he was disappointed in himself for losing in the Sweet 16.
Yep.
like you say, he's happy for the team how far they made it. But like he said, at Kentucky, you expect a national championship.
I got to go watch them play in the Sweet 16. It was definitely disappointing, but it was a good experience overall. That was only my second game I've ever been to. So
I haven't been to one of their games yet, but like I want to at some point.
right.
I mean I don't know how much chances I'll get this next couple years because I'll be at SIU and I don't know exactly how that's all going to work yet. But I'd love to go watch Kentucky at some point. I'd like to go to March Madness at some point.
Yeah, that it's a good experience. We bought Sweet 16 and Elite 8 tickets, just hoping they'd make it to the Elite 8, but they didn't. But we still went and watched. It's a good experience anyway, We actually was going to watch them in the round of 32 in my freshman year, so if you remember that year.
Yeah.
So we ended up watching St. Peter's versus Murray State, which didn't end the way I would have wanted it, with St. Peter's winning. But after they beat Murray State, I was like, all right, this is kind of cool, seeing them go on a run like this.
Yeah, especially making it all the way to the Elite
Yeah.
Eight.
I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah. And obviously I hate to see it, but like it was cool. And I like Cinderella runs like that.
Mhm.
I was hoping that Drake would go on that this past year.
Yeah.
Or like I don't know. I really liked Loyola Chicago whenever they went on that Cinderella run.
Yeah. I remember that. I was just hoping they'd win it all that year.
Yeah, they were close.
Yeah.
They lost to Michigan in the Final Four, and they almost did it. Evan, as you're good friends with Skyler, right? Just being around him always. How much would you say he really talks about Kentucky, or like has an influence over him?
Oh, he talks about Kentucky a lot, and like I've known him like my whole entire life, and I've never known him to not be a Kentucky fan. Like he's always been a Kentucky fan his whole entire life.
Has it like had any sort of influence over you? Like, have you like wanted to be interested in like basketball at all because of him, or not really?
Yeah, I have a little because of him, but for the most part, I'm not super interested in like basketball. I'm mainly just running, mostly just interested in running.
What kind of like kind of grew you towards that? Like, was it like some sort of influence, or like just like something you just like came across as like you're growing up?
Well, I played basketball my third grade year and my fourth grade year, and I didn't really like it very much, so I quit. But my mom really wanted me to do at least one sport, and I was going in my fifth grade year, and that's when we were finally allowed to do track at Akin, and I was like, I'll try it. I get to get out of school, leave school early for meets and stuff like that. So I did it, and then I just fell in love with it that fifth grade year, and then I just haven't stopped since.
So, is it like on the now that you've gone into high school, like you got a couple different coaches like McLean and Webb, and you got some guys to kind of look up to that also run the longer distance stuff like Gabe and Gavin and Cole, like guys you've gotten to run with. How'd they impact you into the person you become?
Well, like whenever it comes to like coaches, McLean has definitely like changed my mindset completely. I used to just kind of be like weak-minded, and I kind of just used to not have the courage to kind of go out and do things. But then after a cross-country season, like completely with him, it really just changed me, and like I'm a lot more confident in my running, my ability, and my training now. But then like in other like my teammates, like Gabe, he has had a big influence on me. He's always pushed me to be better, to just run to the best of my ability. I've always looked up to him because he runs fast, but he's just a good guy to be around, and yeah.
So now that like you're gonna kind of have to step up a lot with I mean, Gavin graduated a couple years ago now, and then now Gabe and Cole have graduated. It's gonna be you, Seeger, and Blades. Uh, where are you guys gonna have to like kind of take and like step up as for cross country and then also for track and field?
For cross country, we're definitely gonna have to step up a lot because we've definitely taken some hard hits with kids graduating like Gavin, Gabe, Cole. They've been some of the most they've been some of the best runners in Illinois, and we're losing them. And then we're also taking another hard hit by moving up a division. So we're gonna have even more competition than we did. But a way we can step up is just train to the best of our ability. Trust in our coach, our new coach, Brad Wilson. I know he'll do good for our team. We just have to trust in his training, listen to him, take our recovery seriously, take our workouts seriously, and just whenever it's race day, we just really have to kind of just run to the best of our ability and not let other kids get in our heads, because that's one thing that other teams like to do is they like to get in your head before a race, and then you get really nervous, and then you don't perform very well. So
What's kind of the plans for next year as far as are you wanting to pursue like some sort of like career in like maybe track and field or cross country after high school?
yeah, I'd like to run in college.
Would you like? Is it like? Would you rather do like the 400 like you are doing now in track and field, or is it easier in cross country to run the longer distance?
I'm definitely a lot more used to like shorter distances, like in track. Um, but I would say I kind of prefer cross country a little bit more. There's something about it that's a little more enjoyable, and it's just it's a nice feel. It has a nice feel to it. But I perform a little better in track. But I would take either one. Both if I can. That'd be really nice to run track and cross country in college.
So, as far as the 400 meter, what's like your exact goals as far as that? You've, you've shown that you can qualify because you got the qualifying time this past year, just not at sectionals. What's kind of like the goals for that?
Yeah, going in next year, my goal is to kind of start out that season around my PR, or kind of what I was running like at sectionals. Just kind of start out the season good, but then my end goal is to obviously make state and make it to the finals if I can. And I really like to break 50. That's a big goal of mine. So that's definitely one of the first goals for next year.
I mean, I'm obviously not a runner, you tell, but I I know that Jack Bacon used to run the 400 and like all that. I just know that it takes a lot, and but I know you can do it. It just it's really fascinating to like go look at like other schools, because I was looking at the state times, stuff like that, and it's just crazy how fast some of those kids can run, and then you're right up there with them, and then it's just it takes a lot. I didn't realize like how much it takes to go into all that. I mean, you can't just go out there and run. I mean, you have to like prepare yourself, eat right, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I don't know, it's a lot. So, do you have any experience like track and field? Like, I mean, did you do anything at Akin or anything?
Yeah. Eighth grade, I was influenced by Graham and Evan to just, and the track coach, who's a teacher there. Right before the first practice, I was like, hey, I went to, during his class, I was like, I don't think I want to do track. Because, I heard what we'll be doing, first practice, and it was the day of, and I was like, yeah, I don't really want to do it. And he said, too bad he signed up. And so I didn't enjoy it at all, but we got out of school early, so that was fun. I got put on the mile every meet. I was put on the mile. No, I wasn't too good at that. I never finished last though. That was one thing I was proud of. But yeah, no, it's yeah. Another thing, what you said about him eating right, it's during his track season. I can't stand hanging out with him. He's like, I'm like, man, I'm hungry, and he's like, yeah, I can't go eat fast food or nothing. I'm like, oh my goodness, just stuff like that. But yeah, at least he's really dedicated to something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you asked him about the college deal. He's been talking about that since like 6th grade, and I always thought he could do it, you know, but I think he'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, what about Kentucky? What if he did at Kentucky?
I think I've mentioned something about Kentucky too, and what I don't know. What are your thoughts on Kentucky?
Kentucky, honestly, really good. They just got done hosting the SEC outdoor championship for the SEC conference, and Gavin actually ran there, and he was really close to qualifying for the finals in the 1500, but he performed really well. So, but Kentucky, they have a really good track program, especially for sprints. They're really good at sprints, like the 400. So yeah, the Kentucky, that would be a really nice place to go to.
What's like the difference between like high school and college level? I mean, as far as like say 400 meter, what you're trying to get, what's the difference in times? Because I mean, like obviously from middle school to high school, it's a big jump. Is it that much of a jump from high school to college?
I would say, like state winning here in Illinois is about a 48-second flat for 400. But then in college, 48-second 400 wouldn't even, like, at like the big schools wouldn't even place you anywhere near the top. So it's definitely a big jump. But I mean, it really is dependent on what school you go into. Like if you go D1, D2, D3, JUCO, it really just depends because they're all different levels. But like if you compare high school to D1, that's a state winning time here in Illinois for like the 400 would place you would rank you in the hundreds in D1. So it's a big jump.
That's a lot. Are you wanting to like stay somewhere close? Like as if you like pursued that career, like pursued it going into college, like would you want to stay somewhere in Illinois, or would you like want to get away and like just kind of travel?
I'd like to travel because if I could go somewhere like that is at a higher elevation, that would give me a little bit of an advantage because training at altitude has a big effect on your body, like your oxygen intake. That really affects, like if you spend a bunch of time training up at altitude and then you come back down to sea level to compete, you're at an advantage compared to the kids who have been just normally training at sea level. So that would be pretty nice to go kind of somewhere at altitude, kind of far out west maybe, because really nice views, really nice place. I've been out there for many vacations, and there's a lot of benefits out there, kind of altitude and west.
I think where Gabe's going, he's going to Gonzaga, or
Yeah, Gonzaga.
yeah, and is it high elevation there too, or is it?
It's definitely higher than here.
Yeah.
But it's not super high. So it'll definitely be kind of a change, but not a super big change.
Yeah. How big of a change would you like? Are you like wanting a drastic change, or you just want like just something like, just kind of like that, like just a little bit?
I'd kind of like just like a little change, kind of how Gabe, kind of maybe sitting around 2,000 feet above sea level. Like here, like where I live, I'm only sitting at about 300. So maybe moving up to like 2,000, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah. Imagine running in Boulder. It's like 5,000 feet above sea level there. And I could imagine that. Because, I mean, you just driving down to Massac County at changing sea levels there, your ears are popping. So, I mean, like, that's just like 100 feet difference or something like that. I can't imagine what it'd be like just going up to somewhere that far.
Hmm.
So, you guys, Skyler, kind of getting back to like your Kentucky basketball news page. What kind of like, when you said you had the love for the Wildcats, but like, what kind of like actually inspired you to make something like that? Are you like wanting to pursue something like sports media or something?
When I was younger, I did. Right now, I'm just going more the business route. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with business yet. But yeah, when I was younger, I was wanting to do sports media or, be, you know, I'm trying to think of the name for that. I used to know it, but yeah, just I wanted to be involved with sports and stuff, but now like I said, I'm going towards business. But yeah, that's about.
Do you think like are you gonna still run the page for a while, or are you just gonna have?
Yeah, I plan on running the page. I have a lot of good insiders right now, and I used to have like one, so I'd maybe have a little bit of early news. But I don't really post anything too early anymore because there's been a lot of times where things are unpredictable, and I've been wrong, and that's not a good look.
Yeah. What up? Have you got any like? I guess has your page gotten big enough to like where people like will message you like kind of I guess being like ticked off like trying to like insult you or anything like that?
um, just other like other fan bases, There will be some other sports pages that text me, and it's all part of the sport, so
Yeah.
it's all right.
So you kind of mentioned like wanting to pursue something in business. Like, is that businesses in like what kind of business would you like to pursue? Like entrepreneurship? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I'm going for business management at Ren Lake for the next 2 years, and then should be SIU after that for 2 years with business management as well.
Are you so are you wanting to create a business like in Southern Illinois, or are you like trying to branch out, maybe even go down to Lexington?
Um, Probably stay around local, not too far out.
I'm kind of unsure where I want to go. I'd like to stay in our area because I like the area,
Right.
but I wouldn't be opposed to like going somewhere. I like Boston. That'd be cool.
Yep.
I want to go up to Boston at some point in my lifetime, and then I like obviously Lexington. A lot of cool places to see in this world. So like I don't know. I'm gonna try to travel some.
Yeah, the furthest I've ever been is New York. No, that's about it.
Yeah. So you guys want to play a little trivia?
Sure.
So what we're gonna do here is kind of we're gonna like guess what Southern Illinois high school it is. So
Oh boy.
I've got 3 schools, and like you guys will get. It's basically whoever gets the most points wins.
All right.
See, I've never made this before, so like I don't know if it's too tough. I don't know if it's
Okay.
too easy or what. So I guess we're just gonna have to see, and like once I find out, I mean like I'll know to make it either easy or tougher, or just keep it how it is.
Okay.
You kind of get like 4 guesses. You get 4 clues for each one.
Okay.
This first one, you guys ready to go?
Yep.
All right, so we're gonna guess who this team is. This team competes in the River to River Conference. Okay, so that's your first clue. You guys can make guesses if you want to at this point. It's up to you. Do you want to, or do you want me to go on to the next?
Keep going.
Yeah.
All right. They hold an impressive record of 15 state finals appearances in basketball. They're in the River to River Conference. They have 15 state finals appearances in basketball. This is both sides of the river.
Oh boy. Got any more hints?
Their basketball program boasts over 2,000 wins in its history.
I'm sure this one should be easy.
it's to me it's easy, but like that's just I know all the history stuff.
Right. Are you able to give us like 4 teams?
I could list off all the teams in the conference.
All right, list off 4 like all the teams then, I guess.
You got Massac County, Benton, Harrisburg, Heron, Pinckneyville, Nashville, Ann Jonesboro, West Frankfort, DuQuoin, Carterville, Murfreesboro, and then I didn't include Salem in this, but they're coming to the conference. And then you also got one more hint, by the way, as well.
You want to take the other hint?
Yeah.
All right. Their mascot is some sort of cat.
Pinckneyville.
Yeah.
So, how do I get points? Like, I have 1?
Yeah.
All right.
He didn't guess fast enough. So, we got a second one. So, I actually got 3. So, we'll see how this goes.
Hopefully.
So, I'm not giving you the conference on this one.
Okay.
This team's primary color is red.
All right.
That's first hint. They have a highly successful football program. They've made two semifinal appearances in the last 4 years in football.
You got to guess yet?
I have no idea.
You want a third one?
Yeah.
Their mascot is associated with the Native American culture.
Man, I don't know much about football around here.
DuQuoin Indians.
No.
That's kind of what I thought.
That's what I was gonna say. I didn't want to be wrong though. What happens if you get it wrong? Just nothing.
Nothing.
Okay. Man.
You have one more hint.
All right, I'll take the next hint.
They currently have a D1 football player competing in the Big Ten Conference.
Johnson City.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So Skyler has 2 points, and he's won. Do you guys want to do the last one still?
Sure.
Yeah,
Why
let's
not?
do it.
So, this school has won the Gold Cup and the South 7 Conference for back-to-back years. So the Gold Cup is basically every single sport. So like spring sports, fall sports, winter sports, every single sport. They take the conference champions, the second place, third place, and you get a certain amount of points for each like place you get. So like you can kind of start thinking about like what place teams got.
All right.
And also, you still got the 3 other hints.
Okay. I have a few teams in mind right now. You have no
Next.
clue? All right.
South 7 Conference. You know what that is? Like, who's in it? Okay. Do you guys want to second it?
All right.
All right. So, this team, it's not currently going right now. It just got broke, actually, a couple years ago. But they had an incredible 17-year streak of qualifying for the football playoffs.
Man, me and football. I don't know much about football around here. Boy. You got any?
No.
All right. Do you want a third hint? Yeah. All right. They are the second largest school in Southern Illinois right now. So I mean, you just kind of think about the biggest schools, and they're the second largest.
You throw a guess out there. I have no idea.
No.
We should know this, right?
Well, again, I wouldn't know it just because
I'm sure everyone watching knows this right now. They're probably raging. Or sorry. I just don't know. I don't know.
Do you want the final hint?
Yeah, we'll take it.
Their mascot is part of the cat family.
Wait, do you not know what school it is?
What?
Do you not know what school it is? I think I know what
All
school
right,
it is.
guess it.
Is it Marion?
Yeah, it's Marion.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So I mean, would you guys say it's like too hard? Like
No, I think most people would know that. I just don't. I don't keep up with a lot of stuff around here, so
Yeah.
like high school wise.
Yeah, I don't know. I might try to start doing that more, like just throw out different stuff out there, like just kind of like guess who this player is. I've also seen people like where they've done like guess who the silhouette is. So like
Oh,
they'll put
okay.
like a silhouette up, and like I might do that sometime. I don't know. I'm thinking about putting out like just different trivia stuff and like other stuff like that, like kind of like maybe stuff like kind of like the Trivia Thursday stuff.
Right.
Like guess who the all-time winningest coach is from Southern Illinois, which is Trout from Centralia. I'm pretty sure it's either him or Haas. No, it's Hausman. He has like 850 or something like that. No, it's like 865, something like that.
Right.
And then, but like just other random stuff like that. I'm planning on doing. So, kind of back to you guys, because you know this episode's about you guys.
Right.
You guys want to talk about like your experience at Akin, like kind of like how it made you guys kind of friends and like growing so close to each other?
You want to go first? Or?
You go first.
All right. Aiken it's very, very small school. So you know everyone. Word gets around. I mean, it's like that really anywhere. But Aiken, it's you say something, everyone's gonna know real quick. But yeah, like I said, it's really small. So, well, me and Evan, pretty much since he was born, I've been around him. His mom watched me a lot more than a few times, I'd say. So we've just always been, together. But really there was, part in grade school he wasn't as close, I would say.
Yeah.
As we're different people for sure. Like as far as what we enjoy. So we kind of grew apart, but not like where we didn't talk or nothing. But we just didn't hang out as much. And then I don't really know, like maybe my 8th grade, 7th grade year, we really got super close again. Like we was when we was young. Another thing when we was young that really brought us together was life group, which is Bible study and stuff. And my parents, it was at your house, right?
Yeah.
Most of the time it was at his house. My parents would go there. It's a bunch of people, but that's really how we got close. But yeah, 7th and 8th grade. Well, my 7th and 8th grade year, we got pretty close.
Yeah, like there was like a little like part. It was kind of like whenever like we weren't like in the same PE class or whatever, 'cause like I think it was like 3rd and 4th had the same PE, and like 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th had the same PE, and it was kind of like during that time whenever we weren't as good as friends, mainly because we just didn't see each other as much. We didn't hang out as much outside of school because he got busy with schoolwork, but like I wasn't, so I just had to sit at home bored. And then but then we got like really close, like like during his 7th, 8th grade year, and then but then he graduated, and then we didn't hang out a whole lot because he was super busy, and but then I got into high school, and then we started hanging out a lot more because we were both just as busy, but like our schedules were almost like the same. So
Do you guys still hang out like quite a bit? Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Wish we could get Graham on here.
Graham Barclay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Where's Graham? Yeah.
Probably watching.
Graham, I don't know. I wish you would have got on here. It'd been fun. Three of you guys all like grew up together, real close.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And just guess he was a little bashful. Let's get on here.
I think he was busy today, or something. But yeah, no, us three, we hang out. We go to Paducah and stuff together a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. Really, besides, our little friend group and all that, other than that, it's like he's the only other person I'll hang out with outside of, well, I guess I would say outside of school, but we're not in high school anymore.
Evan, what would you say? I mean, you obviously got your friends at high school, but like now that you and Skyler, like, you guys were both still in school when you were in 8th grade and he was in 9th grade, but I mean, like now that he's like kind of like actually away from high school, like how would you say? Do you think it's gonna change anything, or do you think you guys will just be as close as you were?
I think we'll be like even closer. I think we'll hang out a lot more, cause like our schedules like never like worked ever. Cause like he would have basketball, and like I had cross country and track, and like the days that I was free, he wasn't free, and like so. But I think with him being done with school, and then me going to the summer, I think we'll definitely hang out a lot. And then even going in next year, I think we'll still hang out a lot more than we usually do.
Yeah, especially because I mean he won't be involved in sports anymore, and like he'll probably go to Rend Lake, have a job, but he'll probably have a lot more free time to do things like you were saying. It's gonna be good, and it's good that I think personally. I wish I could have gone into a smaller school. Like, I mean, Benton's pretty small as well, but it's not like it's big. But Akin, I think, is a really good school because I feel like you get to know your friends really well, and I feel like you get closer with your friends than most people do. I mean, obviously, you get close with a friend when you go to a bigger school, but
Right.
when it's at like a smaller school like Akin, it's usually not one-on-one, but like it's, I don't know, a lot more personal connections, I feel
Right.
like.
Yeah.
It's could be a good or a bad thing.
Yeah,
Depends on the week.
If it's good things, I mean, like you get real close to your friends, like I was
Right.
saying, but bad, I mean, you do one bad thing and like everybody remembers it for a while.
Yes.
Even something from like 3rd grade and you might be in 7th grade, somebody still remember it.
Yeah. Also, the teachers at Akin are very good, in my
Yeah.
opinion. They're, I don't know, it's just, I really enjoyed it. Like, his mom was my 3rd grade teacher, so, yeah.
His mom was my pre-K teacher, and Grant's
Yep.
mom was, what, 6th grade?
6th, 7th, 8th.
Oh yeah, 'cause she did English for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade.
So, yeah, like, I don't know. I always thought that was really cool that all 3 of our moms had, us in school, so.
Do you, if there was, which you got to go to a smaller school at Thompsonville,
Right.
but would you say like if you could like keep going to a smaller school like Aiken, would you rather do that, or do you like it at Benton as well?
I really like it at Benton. I think there's definitely I'd say like the only thing I didn't like about Aiken was there were just less opportunities.
Right.
I think I really like that about Benton is there's a lot more opportunities for me, especially like whenever it comes to track, and clubs. Like I'm involved in a bunch of clubs at Benton that like youth and government. Like I'm involved in like a bunch of things, and then but like going into my freshman year, I never thought I'd be involved in any of those things.
Yeah.
But here I am now going my senior year. I'm involved in like 12 different clubs. So, and then my sports on top of that as well. Do you have any input on that, Skyler?
I think I can agree with you as far as opportunity. At Thompsonville, I mean, there's opportunity there, but as far as sports, I mean, for guys, you have basketball. They're actually starting up a cross country team at Thompsonville, which has been well, they've always had it, and then I believe my freshman year they didn't have it, and my sophomore, junior, senior year it was in the works, or it's been talked about, and it's finally, I believe it'll be this coming year, which is pretty good because the guys only have one sport they can do, and
They not do baseball anymore?
you can co-op, but
Oh, yeah.
as far as
It's not like schools. Like,
they go with Galatia.
Yeah.
So there's some that decide not to play. Like it's the same with women's basketball. They go with Galatia.
Doesn't softball does too.
Softball, yes.
It's like girls, they really just have volleyball, don't they? And cheer.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I'd say that's like, I wouldn't want my kids to like go to a school, which oddly enough, like a school like Waltonville, they still have all those sports though,
Right.
and they have like a. I looked at the thing, and you guys are down to I think maybe 88 or 94, something like that. Waltonville's down to 97, but they still have strong basketball. They have uh, volleyball. They have uh, baseball, which they co-op with Cesar. Cesar like comes plays at Waltonville. Cesar comes play at Waltonville for softball, and then for football they go play with Cesar, and then they have girls and boys basketball and cheerleading, which
Right.
a small school like Waltonville I really like. I think it's really cool there.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys on the podcast last week, and I really like those guys. I think that it just like a smaller school, you can see it through them. It creates just a tight group, and
Yeah.
and they all play good together and have good relationships on and off the court.
Yeah. We had to play them. It was like our last regular season of the game year. I mean, that game was not good for us. Yeah.
Yeah, they're good. I think that they're definitely. I'd say they're going to be one of my favorite teams to watch next year for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd say Waltonville. I think Centralia is going to be fun to watch next year. Obviously Benton, just because I'm from Benton, but yeah, those are three of my favorite teams that are going to be three of my favorite teams to look forward to next year. And there's just many other teams I'm just not even thinking of right now. They're going to be fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure. Meridian, even though they lost their coach, they're still going to find a way to be good. Goreville is always good. Like, there's just so many good teams that are fun to watch.
What do you think about like Meridian? Where do you think they're gonna go from there?
I think they'll either go back to how they were prior to David Davis, which prior to David Davis, they were in the state championship in 2015.
Right.
Lost in the state championship. David Davis actually played on that team. And then after that, I think their coach retired a couple years ago, or either I think he retired. I'm not 100% sure. I can't remember. Either way, they kind of dropped off a little bit for a few years. But I think they'll either go back to kind of like not mediocrity, but just like maybe like 15 to 20 wins per year. That's why I kind of feel like they'll either drop off to that or they'll just keep going how they are.
Right.
But it just depends who they get as the coach, which
Mm-hmm.
I really don't know. I mean, that'd be a huge job to take
Yeah.
because
Expectations are high.
expectations are high. That's down there deep in Southern Illinois. So there's a small school like Thompsonville, and talent doesn't just come in so easily all the time. He kind of got blessed with so much talent at one time.
I think people forget to realize like they're not that big of a school really.
Yeah, they have I think they have about 130 kids, something like that. And they made it to the elite. The Elite Eight three straight years, and then made a state runner-up appearance.
Right.
So they're good, and I just don't know how they'll be after. But it's either they're gonna, they won't ever. In my opinion, I can't foresee Meridian basketball, at least not within the next 10 years, to be like a 5-win team. They're always just gonna be at least decent.
Right.
And for in my opinion.
One thing I've always liked about Meridian is their fans are very passionate.
Yeah.
I enjoy seeing that because, especially around here, I mean, you're seeing less and less of people being so passionate. I love seeing student sections. I mean, I love it.
I feel like student sections are starting to die a little bit. Yeah. I feel like the schools that have the good student sections are like Marion, Centralia, Mount Vernon, and Piniaville. Those are four of the best off the top of my head. But and Heron. But I just wish more schools would get the student sections and just be more dedicated to that. And Carterville as well. But it just I feel like the athletic directors, stuff like that, they need to pour more time into the fans, which I know the athletic directors, especially at the bigger schools. I talked to Coach Garner. He was busy all week, especially because he had to take over as baseball coach towards the end of the year. And then he was also still doing all his other athletic director duties, like Benton hosted the softball regional, and he was also still having to coach. So I feel like, but the athletic directors are like the other school sponsors. They need to like try to get the kids to buy in, because when the kids buy in, and you have a huge student section, you have that atmosphere that's going to make the fans want to keep coming back. And I wish that more school sponsors would try to get the student sections to like actually be there.
I don't know. I feel like when there is I think they just worry that there will be trouble with all that. And, like, I can understand that, but that's just always been a part of the game, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you could tell them cut it out a little bit with some of the stuff, but for the most part, I feel like it's just a part of it,
I think I always really enjoy seeing the student sections. The Set Salem, Centralia versus Mount Vernon, the Salem Invitational Championship, and the Mount Vernon and Centralia student sections were just going back and forth like prior to the game, and I really enjoy when our student sections do that. They create that environment. It's just, I don't know, it's really cool to see. I just feel like student sections just add such a whole another tier to the game. They can make a really good game into an instant classic game.
Right. Were you at the game? I don't remember what year it was now. Pinckneyville versus Benton, BIT. The student sections. Like, do you remember that game? Like, off the top of your head?
I remember Pinckneyville is it talking about the one where Pinckneyville kid got thrown out? Because I remember there was a game.
There was something that was stolen from the other student section. I forget which way that went, and that was, they were running around. I don't know if you remember that.
I probably do. Is it, are you talking like 2017, 18 around that time?
Might have been 2017. I remember.
Yeah, it's probably 2017. We lost to Pinckneyville at their place. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because we won the BIT in back-to-back years or 3 straight years at that time period. I think we had just lost to Pinckneyville. Pinckneyville probably had some, like they had bragging rights at that point.
Right.
We lost them 59-53. Am I thinking right? I'm not 100% sure. I know that we lost Pinckneyville 59-53 at Pinckneyville. I think that was the 2017-18 school year. So
right.
That would have been the 2018 BIT, and we came back and beat them in the BIT. But I don't know. There was like a 3-year where Benton and Pinckneyville were just going back and forth so much. But for a while, a lot of Benton fans probably put this out of their head, but Pinckneyville dominated the BIT. There was like a 15-year stretch where Pinckneyville won it 10 times in 15 years.
Wow.
And it was from like 2000 to 2015. Bobby Wagner was coach. Gosh, people are going to slander me for getting his first name, but Korn was the head coach also before Wagner. He was a really good coach for a long time. But yeah, Pinckneyville dominated the BIT there for a while. They've always been the dominant program. We talked about earlier, over 2,000 career wins. Yeah. I think they have like 2,100 to be exact, something like that. But yeah, Pinckneyville's always been that program. Benton's been a really good program, especially 60s, 70s, and 80s. But Pinckneyville has just been a really good program every single decade. Benton's been a good program, like I said, but Pinckneyville, Centralia, every single decade you can point to at least a couple regional championships.
Right. What about Thompsonville? I'm just kidding. They had that one really good season.
30-3, they won a regional championship.
Yeah. I don't want to take anything away from them, but I do feel like a lot of that was easier schedule. And once they came into real teams, then things didn't go their way. But I think they're a really good team, so I don't want to take that away from them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I remember around that same time period, El Dorado, they won a regional. Forgot what their exact record was, but there was at some point that year they went on like a 21 or 22 game win streak. They were really fun to watch. Around that time period, I really liked El Dorado because like my dad, lived in the El Dorado area. We knew El Dorado people, and there was a guy named Ray May that I really liked to watch play basketball.
Right.
And just El Dorado team, like I was always rooting for them, even though like Benton was still my main team. They were just a really fun team to watch. They lost to 66-48 to Robinson in the sectional semis that year, which Robinson went on to get. I believe they lost in the super sectional. They either lost in the super sectional or sectional to Mount Carmel, which Mount Carmel went on to get runner up in state that year. But yeah, I really like that El Dorado team.
Yeah.
But a lot of people wonder, what if Benton was because there was a 6-year stretch from 2013 to 2019 where Benton was a 3A team rather than being a 2A. There was Heron, Massac County, Carterville, Benton, and I think Murfreesboro. They were all 3A rather than being 2A.
Right.
And a lot of people wonder, what if Benton was a 2A that year? Like the year we went 31-3, lost to Centralia 56-49. Like, I wonder how far they'd go. Like, I feel like they'd play in the state championship.
Yeah, that's not crazy to say. I loved watching that team.
Yeah.
I really
Well,
did.
there was like a 3-year stretch that they could have been really good. I feel like because they went 24-5 the year prior to that and lost in the regional semis. I feel like they probably would have won a regional in 2A. And then that year, I feel like they probably would have won the state championship. And then the year after that, they went 26-5, 25-6, lost to Marion 73-54. But I feel like in 2A, again, I feel like they would have won a regional at least. So like, it just kind of sucks that those 3 years that they had, actually they were 25-4 that first year, but still those 3 years that they had 25 consecutive wins. 3 straight seasons with 25 wins. I feel like they could have done something more in 2A.
Right.
Because they had 585 kids at that point, and you're going against teams with 1,000 kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a big difference. Like you said, you guys are going to be, I believe you guys are like, if not the smallest, you guys are going to be one of the smallest. Because the cutoff is 600 for cross country next year, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you guys are going to have to deal with that. Because it's taking the last year's enrollment, so it's going to be technically 604. But still, like, you guys are probably going to be a small school up there.
Yeah, we definitely are.
And I think that's just kind of like we got the bad end of the stick. But it's just how it is.
Yeah.
Skyler, how would you do you see any of that like in college basketball? Would you say there's much of that from like mid majors to the high majors?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of an example.
Gonzaga is one that's a mid major that defies that though.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think of an example, but I can't think of it. Yeah.
Well, who is it? Drake. They went 5 straight years where since like 2008 or some random year, I forgot. Some year, they made the March Madness 5 years since 2008 or something like that. Excluding this year, I'm taking this stat, but excluding 2025, they were 0-5 in March Madness. So that just kind of shows like the difference between a small school going up against the bigger schools. Like, just
Right.
takes a lot.
One thing I've noticed is even if they did have a good season and they do have a good team, they're still most likely not going to get too high of a seed. So then they got to go against the top teams, better teams, and it just doesn't end well for them.
Especially even when they try to prepare themselves by playing against those top teams throughout the year.
Right.
They still, some teams don't get that credit that they should. Like, they'll still get, a 9 seed and have to go against, say, a Texas Tech who happen to be, an 8 seed or something. They still have to, go against a really tough team. You feel like they should get rewarded better almost.
Right. All right. What do you guys think about Fortnite coming back to Apple?
I think it's awesome. Hey, we got 2 wins last night on
We
Fortnite
did.
Mobile.
On Fortnite
Wasn't it
Mobile.
3? 3 in a row, and then we lost 2 in a row?
No, we got. Oh yeah, no, it was 3, and you got 1 this morning.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I woke up this morning. First thing I did was hop on. I won't lie. Yeah. Russell, do you like Fortnite?
I'm not, greatly fond of it. I
Right.
don't hate it. but I've just never been good at it. So like I don't have like a dire need to play it.
There was a time I don't know, I wasn't a fan of Fortnite at all. Then I started playing and I liked it.
They brought back the Fortnite mobile. I'm surprised they did. Didn't they have to use like some type of Swedish like there are people from Swedish to make it?
Probably, I don't know.
No, it was just because Fortnite lost a lawsuit.
Oh.
They removed it from the App Store over a lawsuit. I don't remember what, and then now it's back.
Oh, it's because some Apple was wanting to make money from it, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was something like that. And then Fortnite lost the lawsuit, and now it's back. So.
Yeah.
Right, so you guys played it a lot last night?
Yeah. We were up till about 3 a.m.
Yeah.
My.
We, I don't know. Games lasted for a long time, it felt like, so.
I don't know. I just can't get into games like Fortnite doing that. I mean, I
Right.
like playing like.
I play NCAA 10 on an Xbox 360.
Yeah, I like playing like sports games like that. Like, 2K, I only play it like online now. Like that's where I got to the point.
Right.
Like only playing it online with people that I know. MLB The Show, I like playing MLB The Show a lot. I like playing the college football game whenever it was in season. I mean, like I've kind of gotten tired of
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Just because I mean it's not football season. And then I really about like 4 or 5 times a year I'll go on like a 2-week span where I'll play my Xbox 360 and play those old college football games, old basketball games, all that.
Right. I do that during March Madness.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
That's what I did this year too. I had an SIU dynasty, and then I had what was the other one? I forgot what the other one was, but a couple not this last year, but the year before, I had a California Riverside dynasty. We were huge. We were a big mid-major. We were really good. Won like 5 championships in like 15 years. You know,
Mhm.
I really like playing the old college basketball games a lot.
Do you think they should bring those back?
I would love it if they brought them back, especially like real players.
Right. That
Like
would be.
imagine this past year, like I don't know, that'd be fun to play like Cooper Flag or somebody on there.
Yeah.
And I don't know that if they brought back every single college sport game, I don't think I'd play a professional sports game besides MLB. MLB is the only one I'd play
Right.
if they brought back like college sports, because I don't play Madden. I don't have a need to play Madden since they brought back the college football one.
Right. Yeah.
Because I'm not a huge NFL fan. College basketball, I feel like it'd get me more into college basketball again.
Mhm.
NBA, I like playing it just because I play with friends, and then like I've kind of gotten more into NBA since like January. It's been fun to watch. A lot of people hate it right now. A lot of people say it's dying, but I honestly feel like it's not as bad as what people make it out to be.
I think this year it's been a pretty good year, in my opinion. I've been on that. It's not as good as it was, but we're used to Curry being in his prime, LeBron in his prime.
Yeah, I feel like it's just changing. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like I feel like there's just new stars. Like you know what I mean? Like Anthony Edwards, SGA, Tyrese Halliburton,
This is
Jokic. They're all stepping up into those roles of being the kind of leaders of the NBA right now.
it's probably how my dad feels when I say that LeBron's better.
Yeah,
I don't think I mean that though.
I personally don't think he is.
All right, okay, this is a good debate. Michael Jordan or LeBron James?
I feel like Michael Jordan. I know that LeBron, he obviously has longevity.
All right.
He has career points leader. He has a lot of career stuff over MJ. But you also have to think MJ played he started his career at age 22.
Right.
LeBron started his at 18. MJ ended his career at 40. LeBron's like 40 right now, 40 or 41. But MJ, he played 18. Well, he didn't play 18 years. He had an 18-year gap. He only played like 13 or 14 years, I think.
Right.
So like 13-year career compared to a 21-year career. No, I think it's 22 or 23-year career. So that's LeBron has 10 more years to get all those more stats, and he only has like I think 8,000 more career points than MJ. MJ also has like 10 times scoring title, He played with Scotty and Dennis um, his whole career, basically.
Right. Yeah.
LeBron, a lot of people like to point out, well, he goes from super team to super team. Which is fair. I'm not really sure what to think about it, to be honest
Right.
with you. But just like from watching them both play, I really think you can't discredit LeBron. I feel like he's a really good player, second all-time greatest player. But I feel like MJ is just the better player. He's had more impact over a generation, in my opinion. I mean, he has a whole entire shoe line named after him. Like, and look at LeBron. He has his own brand. I mean, he has his own shoes. But MJ literally has Jordan shoes named after him. Like, he has more impact, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think Jordan's the GOAT.
Yeah.
What do you think, Evan?
Yeah.
All right.
I feel like somebody that could give a run for their money, though. I mean, this kind of been brought up a lot recently, but it's Jokic. We talked about this on the last episode, but I think Jokic could genuinely go it down as like a for sure top 10, maybe even top 5 all time, because the past 2 years he's been averaging a triple double.
Right.
He arguably should have got the MVP this year. A lot of people say he should have, which, my opinion, just based off looking at stats, I feel like he should have. Because whenever you take Jokic out of the Nuggets lineup, and whenever you take SGA out of the Thunder lineup, I feel like there's more of an impact from Jokic. But I feel like Jokic should have won MVP, but then also I feel like Jokic could go down as a top 5 player of all time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
So,
I think he's going to be first or second greatest center of all time, probably first in my opinion.
yeah. What do you think about Shea being at the line a lot?
I don't think that he's at the line as much as people say he is.
I thought the same thing as you.
There was actually a TikTok. I don't know if I'm allowed to like show it on here. I might be able to overlay it. I don't know. But there's this TikTok. This guy, he's talking about. Everybody says Shea's the free throw merchant, and then he's like, this is his free throws, each number of free throws from each game in like the past series or whatever. And he started like say 15, 17, 8, 9, 10, 12, stuff like that. Just throwing out random numbers, but that's what he's saying, like high number of free throws. And he's like,
Right.
oh yeah, that's KD's free throws and whatever. Nobody referred to him as a free throw merchant. And then he went through Shea's stats and like it wasn't as much as like what people thought.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say, I feel like they call fouls for him sometimes. Like it just like it looks like it. But I feel like every NBA player, that happens to every NBA player. I just feel like they put such a spotlight on him because they're trying to find some excuse, in my opinion.
Right. I think when players start to do good, there's a lot of people that want to bring them down. I don't know. I don't understand that, but I think that's the truth.
Well, yeah, that's like with LeBron. Like they always say, well, he's always got a sidekick, right? He's always got a really good player. Tries to surround himself with really good players. But I'm like, yeah, MJ did that too. Like everybody does that. Like everybody, they try to call out some critique on somebody.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. What do you think on that one?
I mean,
I
like,
mean, as far as like, I mean, I guess you don't really watch NBA or keep
like,
up with it all, but
in like every sport, you're gonna want to be with the best. You're not gonna want to be with bad players. You're not gonna have bad teammates.
you think
You want good teammates.
you think every sport, someone gets like, the best usually gets, less credit.
The best
Yeah.
give less credit.
Yeah. Like
They get hated on. More.
yeah, like find excuses for why they shouldn't be the best. Like
Not in running, not so much.
Yeah, 'cause
Like,
mean,
I
it's
think
kinda-
running is straightforward,
Yeah.
Whenever it comes to running, there's not like big debates about, there's not all these different stats. That there's just times
Right.
and distance, like throws.
The only thing you could say is like maybe somebody that like competes in 4 different events. You have to like.
Yeah.
That's when I'd say it goes down to like who's the best out of that.
Yeah, having to factor in like they ran in like the 4x1, but then they also ran in the 100. Like, whenever you get to the 100, you're gonna be a little tired from running the 4x1, but Like, yeah, that's about the only thing there is a factor in.
During COVID, like just kind of like flashback to 5 years ago. During COVID, a lot of weird things going on. I remember football. It got canceled, and we had to go play in the spring. We only played 4 games that year. Um, and then you guys only had 10 games your 8th grade year of basketball. uh, you also experienced some injuries. And then Evan, how did the track season work for that?
We had to run with masks,
Ooh.
and
How-
like,
Oh.
and
no.
like there were like a lot more heats, because like there would have to be at least one lane in between each.
That's weird.
Yeah, it sucked.
So, how much longer did that make the meets compared to like years before? You'd say,
It,
or
it
like
like
the year after?
it like almost doubled the time.
That'd
for
be
the meets.
horrible.
And like it really sucked for like ones where it was like raining and like it was freezing cold outside. I remember there was one meet that we went to and it was just pouring, but they just kept the meet going and I was freezing the whole entire time.
So like, that'd be insane. Like, say you're running like cause there's was there 3,200 meter like,
No, not in middle school.
okay, but still like the 1,600 meter, the mile. I mean like, all that. Can you imagine having to do that like while you're wearing a mask? That'd just be insane.
Like
Oh, boy.
I remember like I had to run like 4 events, and like you had to like have your mask on the whole entire time, and it sucked because like I was trying my hardest to breathe,
Did they have
and
like
it sucked.
did they have like a huge emphasis on like keeping it above your nose, or like did like towards the end of the year they kind of like let it go?
Towards the end of the year, they got a little less strict on it, but they were still pretty strict, especially like at like our regional meet.
Yeah. Did you guys only have regional, or did they have state for track as well?
Uh,
Because I know for basketball they didn't. They only had a regional, but for baseball they had a state and all that.
yeah, for track, it would go, yeah, they still had state. Yeah, but I don't think any of us qualified at Akin, so.
Skyler, like, how was it for basketball? Because I mean, you guys had to wear the mask as well, and
Yeah.
then you were also suffering with like knee injuries as well.
Yep. 8th grade was a interesting year, as far as sports. I mean, we didn't really per se follow the rule on that mask, cause like basketball, I don't know, like the sweat like would just sit right here.
Yeah.
So there's a point in the game, all right, I can't wear this any longer.
Sure, it didn't help with the acne buildup too.
No, it was.
I mean, like you're going through puberty, and then you
Yeah.
also got the acne buildup from the mask just sitting there.
Yeah, that really didn't help at all. Yeah, the season was very short. And it was probably my best year at Akin. But we might have finished right at 500,
I think you guys went 5-5, didn't you?
something like that. Yeah, something like that.
You guys didn't play Thompsonville that year either, did you?
No, I wanted to play them so bad that year. They were down. We were up. It was yeah. We beat Ziegler for the first time in a while. That felt real good. My 8th grade year at home.
Was that for senior night, or did you guys play Unity Christian or something? Not senior, but 8th grade night.
Yeah, that was for 8th grade night. Unity Christian was, they were good compared to us. They probably weren't that good, but they were good compared to us. And when we went and played at Unity Christian, we actually competed with them compared to when they played us at home. I think they played us at home first. I can't remember. But the first time we played them, like, at our place, it was bad, real bad. Trying to think, like, having no fans was awful. Like, you just hear the ball bounce and your coach yelling. That's all it was. It was weird, really weird.
Are any of like the videos? Because like videos were horrible.
Yeah.
But like, just because it was filmed on like a laptop or something. Were like any of those videos like still up from that season?
I think so.
We need to find them.
Oh yeah. I knew where they was like freshman year. I think me and you watched.
Yeah, we watched them. Like me,
we kept the stats.
Yeah, me, you, and Graham watched them.
Yeah, we there's probably about 5 games you can't find. 4.
Yeah, we tried to find some, we couldn't find them.
Our best, me and Graham's best game, we couldn't find.
Yeah, there was the Summersville game. I remember that.
Yeah.
You guys like started down horrible. Where'd you guys down
Yeah.
like 23-4 or something like that?
Yeah, going into maybe half, I believe it was half, and well, our coach pulled us out, put all the younger kids in, and was like, "Well, you can watch them play." And then we decided, all right, we want to play, and we came in. Graham, how many? I can't remember how many threes in a row he hit. It was like might have been 3 or 4 threes in a row, and if he wasn't shooting it, he was passing it to me down low. Yeah, I was the 5'9" big man. And I think I scored 19 that game, and he probably scored around 19, 20.
Did you guys lose still?
Yeah, we lost. It just wasn't it. It wasn't a good game.
Who was on that Summersville team? Because it wasn't that like Summersville's up by Mount Vernon, isn't it?
I believe so. I don't really know anyone from there, so I don't remember.
You guys had to play Bethel at one point, didn't you?
Yes.
And they had Kyle Cooper.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you remember like him
Oh,
in
yeah.
grade school?
Yeah, very vividly. I do. Our coach is always hyping him up, and we were always scared to go against him because we knew what he was about to do to us, and he did it every time. So
What did you guys? He didn't go to Waltonville yet, had he?
no.
Yeah, cause I think he went to Waltonville his like 8th grade year. Did you guys ever play at Waltonville at all?
I don't believe so.
I don't know.
I'm trying to think the furthest we went. I guess probably I don't know.
Lick Creek.
Lick Creek's probably the furthest. Where's Joppa at?
Oh, it's way down there by Massac.
We went to Joppa once. You were playing that year, actually, if you remember that.
I think.
They're green, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're the Rangers as well.
Yeah. That's.
The green and yellow.
I don't remember much of that game. We probably lost. I don't know. We went to. I don't know, where's Jeff at? The Jeff Eagles.
I'm not really sure where Jeff is, to be honest with you.
That was a drive for sure. That was a weird game. Were you on that team as well?
I probably was.
Because I don't know. I remember Jeff Eagles. I don't know. We always thought that was funny on the way there that they were, but we won that game. I remember that one. But yeah, we I don't know. I did not like traveling when I was in grade school, like for games and stuff. In high school, I actually enjoyed it
Yeah.
because you had a nice nap there and a nice nap home.
I would have to agree. Which for football we didn't like. Your parents just took you to the games,
Right.
So I didn't necessarily like it a whole lot. But I'd say high school, like going on the trips with the football guys, like it's actually fun, and like
Right.
I don't know, like I remember just kind of playing around like on the bus, like it was just fun. I remember in Nashville, Coach Gross took our phone, which we lost. Here, I'll give a better example because we lost. But New Berlin, it was like a 3-hour drive, and like we were just like I don't know, it was just fun on the way back.
Right.
And like we had our phones and all that, but it was just still just fun to like ride up there and stuff.
I think, like as far as like sports go, that's what I miss the most. Just hanging out with all the guys on the team and bus rides.
Yeah.
Going out to eat with everyone. That it was always fun just hanging out with them.
I think what I'm gonna miss the most is those bus rides, and like
Yeah.
as much as I didn't want to be on the cleanup crew at some points throughout the football season, I feel like just hanging out with the guys that like being on the cleanup crew is kind of fun too.
Right.
Especially when I got paired with like Ryder, like Trayson, or like because like me, Ryder, and Trayson, we jack around after football practice, like in
Right.
the locker room or the parking lot. It was just fun. I think that's like what I'm gonna mainly miss from high school. Well, at least sports wise.
Yeah. I miss messing around in the locker room for sure.
Yeah.
Waiting for the JV game to get over.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, now that like you're gonna have to like get past that now, and like because you're trying to pursue business,
Right.
you won't really have experiences like that anymore. Like, how would you say? Do you think like how are you gonna fill that time basically with like stuff like that?
Well, my schedule right now, I will be at school till about 2 p.m. So that's gonna be different because all through high school it's 3 p.m. then come back at 4 or 5 for basketball practice. So I didn't have to do anything, during that time besides go home, maybe take a quick nap. So I haven't really thought about that really. There's gonna be a lot more free time. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a job now, so. But really, on my days I have school, I won't be working, because once I get out, basically the work day's over, out of school. But I guess Tuesdays and Thursdays I'll be working. So I know that's really all I know right now. So.
Yeah. Evan, when you're planning to go off to college, so like you'll still have like all your sports stuff's going on, so you won't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
But it's obviously still gonna be different because it's not Benton.
Yeah.
So like for you, are you good at like I guess like making basically new friends like all that, or will it would be like kind of like a struggle for you? Do you think?
I think it'll be a little bit of a struggle for me, cause like I remember like going to my freshman year, like I didn't like make. Well, I guess I kind of just like I don't even know how I made most of my friends. I just kind of at some point ran into them, and then I was friends with them. So I mean, hopefully that'll happen in college, but it might be a bit of a struggle, but I think I can get past that pretty easily.
I'd say that if you're doing sports, it's pretty easy to make friends. Like you just like you'll find like a buddy pretty easy. I feel like, and like and then you obviously have Skyler and Graham still.
Yeah.
I will say to you, cherish every single minute. I know, like, all throughout high school, everyone's like, oh, it's gonna fly by, and I'm like, no, it is not.
It does.
It flies by. Like, as far as school, I won't miss schoolwork. I'll miss most of the teachers and, all my classmates. Just messing around in there. Like, just knowing you can't go back to that. That's a weird feeling.
I feel like that too, because like I don't know, I like roaming the hallways like in high school,
Right.
like and really I can't do that again, because like I talked to Garner and like they're just for the basketball games they're trying to like lock stuff down, like basically keep everything in the Rich Heron, like they're closing off the commons, they're trying to at least soon. It's like it's not like I can just like go like after a basketball game walk through the hallways or something. So yeah, I mean, you can't. I love roaming those halls. Like I can't do that anymore. And that's just gonna. It's just gonna be weird.
I get very nostalgic. So just looking back, I'm like, wow, like that's just done. Like I don't know.
I find myself like, even though I don't like kids TV shows anymore. Like I mean, I'm more into like just like not grown up stuff, but like you know what I mean, like just like stuff that appeals to more teenagers. I guess like sitcoms and stuff.
Right.
But every once in a while, I'll go back and like watch like older TV shows I watched as a kid, like Mystery Incorporated.
Right.
I love that show. I'd say I even like it still today, but like, or like Good Luck Charlie. I'll go back and watch shows like that every once in a while.
Yeah, I was lucky to have an older sister that would watch all that, so I just watch it as well.
Yeah.
I always was kind of embarrassed of it until I got older, and everyone was like, "Yeah, I watched that too." I was like, "Oh, okay."
What would you say?
Oh yeah.
No, okay.
What would you say your guys' like favorite show is growing up? Like that you like hold special to you?
Like the very first one that sticks out to me was anything Scooby Doo. I love the older one. Like I don't know what 60s maybe, 70s. I love that one. But as I got older, I love Drake and Josh. That was definitely one of my favorite. Yeah.
Mine is probably Phineas and Ferb.
Phineas and Ferb, I forgot about that.
And then I think what's a new Scooby Doo? It's like the either early thousands or late '90s version.
Yeah, I watched that one. I watched all of them.
Yeah.
That was one of my
I
favorites.
watched Scooby Doo's always been big to me. Thomas the Train whenever I was like 5, but then then I started watching all of Scooby Doo, and then Phineas and Ferb's always just been a really fun show to watch too for
Right.
me. What about you, Evan? You got a big show?
Definitely Phineas and Ferb. I watched that a lot with my sister, and then kind of like a more newer one, not like now, but like it was like around like the 2013, somewhere around there, like The Amazing World of Gumball. That was a really good
Forgot
show.
about that one.
I think they're bringing it back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're making a reboot of it.
Show that I forgot. This is probably my favorite childhood show. And I'd say, I'm not gonna lie to you. I even watched it within the past year. Like I rewatched the whole series. I rewatched the whole series of this show at least 5 times, and it's Gravity Falls.
Gravity Falls.
Oh yeah.
And
I
that's
never got into that one.
I feel like it. Like I feel like you could watch it as an adult and like still like it.
It's amazing.
Yeah, like it. I feel like it applies to like adults, kids, everything.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it because my sister said it scared her, so we couldn't watch it. So like anytime when she had free time, I had free time. Like we basically had the whole same schedule growing up. So anytime she was watching TV, I was watching TV at the same time, and basically whatever she wanted to watch is what we watched. So. But I was begging her to watch that because I thought it was cool, when I was younger, and she said no, it scared her. I think she was lying, but I don't know.
I think you need to watch it, like, because I think you genuinely like it even now. I wish I could go back and watch it for the first time,
Right.
again.
Yeah.
Have you ever like watched it at all?
Yeah, I watched a few episodes of it.
Yeah, I'd recommend going and watch it from season 1 to the end of season 2 and watch it. I like that show. I'm not gonna lie to you. Whenever I watch shows, I typically like get into like watching the videos about them on YouTube, and I've watched like Gravity Falls theories and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, I've got one of the books. Whenever I get into stuff like that, I like watch theories and stuff.
I get the same way with music. Like trying to think the latest for me was I get a lot of hate for it, but the Beatles.
Yeah.
Like I think you like them. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like, so my main friend group never hates on me, but if I say it anywhere else, like they're like, the Beatles, like I'm like, come on, man. But yeah, I do. I know way too much about them now, though. Like, what do you listen to?
Everything.
Yeah, that's the same with me.
I listen. I'm not
open to
joking. Like
anything.
I listen to literally everything: worship music, country music, rock music, grunge, all that, classic rock. I listen every once in a while. I listen to rap. I listen to pop music. I listen to new pop, girl pop, everything.
Yeah.
Like if you just scroll through my Spotify, I have a bunch of different types of genres on there.
How about that one girl? Her name's Olivia something. Yeah, the car rides with those songs playing.
I haven't listened to her as much the past like 5 or so months.
Right.
But I used to be big on her. I actually like Lizzie McAlpine more, which I got onto Lizzie McAlpine before all the girls did at our school. I'm not joking. I started listening to her when she had like 800,000 monthly listeners. Now she has about 10 million monthly listeners. So I got onto her before that. And then same with Olivia Rodrigo. Like I listened to her which this is still a huge number, but like 15 million. Now she has like 50 million. And then Gracie Abrams, I got onto her when she had 10 million. Now she has 45 million.
Right.
So I find them. Well, I don't know, still 10 million is a lot, but still, before that you get hugely popular, I usually find them.
Right. Yeah.
Lizzie McAlpine's awesome. Next up and coming artist that everybody's going to start liking is Abby Carter. I bet you. I started listening to her as soon as she started releasing stuff because she won the American Idol. She has about 50,000 monthly listeners right now. And she won the American Idol not this year, but the year before. And she did a really good job. She's also a Christian, so I think that's just a bonus as well.
Right.
But yeah, she's released about 10 songs on there, so I think that's really cool. Yeah. I like her. I feel like that a lot of people are going to start liking her soon.
Who do you go to to listen to as far as like worship music and all that?
John Ruffino kind of helped me recently. And someone I've started listening to now because of him is Chris Zema. I really like him a lot. He's got about 800,000 monthly listeners. And then I like Josiah Queen a lot. A lot of people listen to him. But Josiah Queen, those are my two main, I guess you could say. Oh, Phil Wickham. I love Phil Wickham. And Brandon Lake's good, obviously. And then, yeah, those are my four main, I guess you could say.
Yep.
I'd say Chris Zema is my favorite out of those four, though. Just because, like, he makes, like, not pop music. He makes more similar music to Noah Khan. Like, a similar style, I guess you could say. But it's, like, I mean, it's worship, and it's good. I like it a lot.
Right.
There's a song called God Is I really like by him. He's just a good artist in general. I think like the 48 songs that I've seen of his, I like about 45 songs on there on Spotify.
That's a lot.
He's probably my go-to like as far as worship music.
Right. Like, who's your go-to just in general if you're just gonna listen to music?
Well, recently within the past 2 months, it's been Cole Wetzel.
Okay.
Not really sure why. He's just been on there. And
Right.
He's been really good. But typically it's like, it just kind of depends on the season. Like prior to Cole Wetzel, it was Lizzie McAlpine. That's just crazy. He popped the country.
Yeah.
But then like, and then like in November, October, September this past year, it was like Foo Fighters.
Okay.
And then back during the summer again, it was Olivia Rodrigo. And then like this past spring, it was like, not this spring, but the one before, I forgot who it was. Maybe like the Strokes. I was getting into the Strokes at that time. Like, I don't know, my switches so much, but right now it's Cole Wetzel.
Right. I've had a phase with listening to him, so I understand that.
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of 90s country. Like, I like Randy Travis, mainly him.
Yeah.
George Strait is one of my favorites as well. It's just basic. Yeah, most people know. But yeah, like you, I just listen to anything. Whatever's on, I'll just listen to.
Yeah. I'm good with mostly anything. I also like to listen to some Rolling Stones, some Beatles.
Yeah.
I have a whole playlist kind of like that. Not, I don't know if it's like all one genre, but that style, I guess. David Bowie, I like listening to him.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there like that.
Me and Evan and Graham, we got on a Bob Dylan kick for an extended period of time.
Because we watched the movie.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, what was it called?
A Complete Unknown.
Yes, Complete Unknown.
We didn't even know what the movie was about, like, beforehand. We just, like...
We were so bored. I was like, hey, you guys want to go watch a movie? And I picked out a random movie. I was like, hey, this one looks cool. Because I didn't really know anything about Bob Dylan at all, besides, his most popular songs. And I'm like, well, this would be cool. We'll go watch this. And so we did, and...
The whole way back,
Yeah.
like, from, like, Carbondale back to, like, Benton, like, the whole way back, we just listened to Bob Dylan.
You know it's valid if Graham likes it.
Yeah.
What do you listen to?
I listen to, like, anything. I listen to, like, I listen to Jeff Buckley, Radiohead. I have some Beatles.
Radiohead?
Yeah, Radiohead. Let's see. Recently, I've been on Sublime a bit.
Oh, yeah.
They're pretty good. But, I mean, I've been kind of all over the place. Like, I'm just kind of like you too. Like, I'll listen to kind of whatever, just as long as it sounds good.
Yeah. Yeah. Does Radiohead, do they sing Creep?
Yes.
we have an inside joke on that. But yeah, as far as like music, I'm not good at names of songs and who sang them. Usually. Yeah.
Once I listen to a song enough, like I know the lyrics and stuff as well, and like the name, who made what. I don't know. I think if you take music out of my life, it'd be weird. Just
Yeah.
completely different.
I don't think like really thinking about it now, yeah, it would be. It'd be a lot different.
Because I mean, just imagine listening to talk show, which I like talk shows. I mean,
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
doing one right now.
Yeah, right.
But, like, just imagine like when you get in your car, the only thing you listen to is just literally podcasts. I mean, like I like podcasts, like I said, but that'd just be weird if you just only podcast.
My grandpa, anytime I get in his truck, a lot of times he's listening to the news, and I just keep it on. Sometimes, honestly, it's pretty calming, but I don't think that's all I could listen to.
No, I feel like every once in a while I like listening to podcasts. Like I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not a huge fan of listening to podcasts except for like one, like listening to 2 or 3 episodes per week.
Right.
But I couldn't imagine that'd be horrible.
Yeah.
I like to listen to. I really like I used to listen to the Jumpers Jump podcast. Really loved it. I've kind of like gotten away from it. Like I wouldn't mind listening to it now, but I like to listen to the Makeshift Project podcast. You've probably seen their clips on Spotify. I like listening to Darren's podcast, obviously.
Right.
I like listening to Joe Rogan Experience.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a good show. I don't know. He gets really good guests on there. I haven't been a huge fan of the guests that he's had on there recently, besides like Guy Fieri.
Mm-hmm.
But I like who he gets on there typically. Who else is there? Oh, Theo Vaughn. I like him.
Yeah.
He gets good guests on there. He had Cole Wetzel on there at one point. I don't know. There's a lot of good people a lot of good podcasts out there. Oh, Draymond Green has a good podcast. I like to listen to Draymond Green's podcast. It's just, I feel like his like kind of gets put on the back burner as far as like whenever I listen to podcasts. Like I kind of listen to him last, and I almost don't want to listen to it just because like, I don't know.
Right.
Do you guys like have like podcasts that you guys like listen to consistently or like at least every once in a while?
I listen to, I think it's like KSR. It's a Kentucky sports radio, maybe.
Oh yeah, I see your
just
clips.
They just talk about Kentucky basketball and all that. Well, anytime they talk about Kentucky basketball, if I'm bored, I'll just go listen to that, see what insider stuff they have or whatever they have to say.
Yeah.
I'm not big on podcasts, listening to them. I know Mark Miner, he has one, and I've listened to a few of them. I'm trying to think. There was another one, like Theo Vaughn. I like watching his clips. I don't know. You listen to any?
Yeah, I like one. It's called The Running Effect. It's it's about running, but like this one guy, he interviews like a lot of high school runners, who, like some of the top high school runners in the nation, because sometimes they don't get. There's some runners, they just never really hear of, and he does a lot of interviews with them and kind of gives them a little bit of puts them in the spotlight a little bit. And but that's a really good podcast that kind of giving me some good tips for like recovery and training and all that stuff.
I think podcasts are good. I like that they're getting big. The podcast shorts and like clips are awesome to watch.
Yeah. I don't think I could sit down and watch a whole podcast unless like I'm actually interested. Like I'll watch yours, just cause I feel like I'm supporting you in a way. But like with the Kentucky one, I'll just watch for what I want to listen to, and then that's about it. But the clips, I could watch those for a long time.
Yeah. You can almost watch the whole episode just scrolling.
Right.
Because I feel like it's just like a attention span thing. Just our attention span getting so bad.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that. Like we just have to like constantly do something. Like just swiping up through clips, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I think though that like podcasts, like if I didn't have podcasts to listen to, it'd also be very boring. But wouldn't be as boring as like not having music.
Yeah.
I just like listening to them. I'll just sit there and watch them. Like sometimes I'll go back and watch these like whenever I'm not editing, and I just like listening to people talk.
Mm-hmm.
Like whenever I go to sleep, I'll have a podcast typically playing of some sorts.
Yeah, like I said, I could see like where you come from with that. Like whenever I've had to drive my grandpa's truck, it is pretty calming, especially at night. Like
Yeah.
just listening to someone talk about something, even if you don't care.
Yeah.
It's I don't know, something calming.
Well, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. You know, it was a really nice episode. You know, had a couple of buddies on here. It's cool. You guys have anything you want to say before you guys close it out?
No, do you?
No.
No. I do have one thing. I wish Graham was on here, but
Yeah, Graham, where are you at?
yeah.
Comment, and put the timestamp where you're at in this video. You know.
See if you actually watched it.
Yeah. Well, you know, thank you guys for coming on here. I guess we'll go ahead and close it out, guys.
Thank you for having us on here.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Hopefully we're on here again sometime.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time.